Okay, so we're onto the lead now. So far we've got our kick and our bass. And they're grooving along pretty well. The levels are okay, -6, and that was, what are the levels? Ooh, way too loud, so our bass is far too loud. We need to turn that down. That's a little better. Now things are a little bit more friendlier. Alright, so our bass is at about 7 or 8, and now... Don't know why our kick is at 6.9 now. Now this is 5.9, that's close enough to 6. Okay, that's all looking fine. So you want, once again, you want your kick -6, kick -6, remember that? And then your bass a little bit higher, but once again, you got to use your ears because all the basses are different. But they seem to be working well now that they're not, now that they're sidechained. What are we doing again? We need to get the lead happening. So let's put in a Syelenth lead. It's probably more like a deep progressive, more subtle sound. That could be okay. So basically what I'm looking for is something that's not super aggressive, but not something that's not more calm, which is difficult to do, picking the right sound. So I'm not really happy with any of these, to be honest. So what I think we're going to need to do to get a nice lead sound is to alter the timbre of whatever we choose. So we're going to do that with the cutoff here. So if I get the synth to make a sound, then you can get the tone color to change, which is really useful for getting the instruments blending well together for the mood of whatever's happening in your music at that time. Way too intense. It doesn't always work with all sounds. That's looking pretty good, I think. So we should be able to play around with this one. So we're in the key of G. Let's go ahead and put in our MIDI clip. And first of all, let's just put down a G note and see how it sounds. And making up melodies is quite difficult, but what I would suggest is having a melody in your head, or at least having a rhythm in your head, and then trying to write down that same rhythm or a similar one, and then moving the pitches around. And make sure you have a lot of repetition in your ideas with slight bits of variation. So yeah, pretty easy, yeah? Yeah, it's difficult. Listen. Have a lot of time listening to songs that you like, and have a think about what bits in the melody are staying the same, what bits are repeating, and what are the characteristics of it. Is it quite long or is it quite quick? Does it use a lot of syncopation? In other words, rhythms that are often on and off the beat, or is it consistently off the beat? Think about all these things, and then you can make more decisions. But for now, just going to have a bit of a play around. I'm going to turn off that delay because it's kind of annoying. Sounds like Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. Okay, so we've got a pretty simple pattern here. What we're doing notes-wise, I've chosen for the piece to be in G minor, which means you need to brush up on your music theory and figure out that the first chord in G minor is G, B flat or A sharp, and D. Yeah, anyone who's done a bit of music theory now is screaming at the computer because they're saying A sharp is not the same as B flat. Yes, it's not. In producing, they kind of just use sharps. Just gonna have to get used to that. Do a little flip of that note in your head. That's just how it goes. Just sharps. So, and it's because B little b in the keyboard is less recognizable than A hashtag, if you know what I mean. So that's why. So we've got G, and then our third note in the scale is B flat, or A sharp, and then our fifth note in the scale is D, and that gives us our triad. Okay. So now we've got just like a very simple melody. It's too simple, so we need to make it more simplified. More syncopated, more groovy. So cool. There's our pattern. Let's repeat that 3 times, and on the 4th time we're going to do something different. Let's just see what we're doing. So this time we're going to do something different. I'm just going to go Control J to remind myself that that's got to be a different bar. It looks like we've only got 7 bars of music, so I'm just going to go Control D, and then Control J, Control D, and then Control J. I've got a 2-bar loop, so I'll just do that 3 times. So there we go. So we've got 8 bars of music now. Okay. Now I'm going to keep the end the same, but it'd be good to have some variation here. Even maybe just that much. Just so it's not the same every single time. Okay, there we go, so there's our lead. Now, is the lead getting in the way of the kick? Yep, sure is. So guess what we're going to do? We're going to side chain it with the kickstart, because it's super easy. Mids chain, because we've got mids. Let's have a look, see where our audio spectrum is being taken up. Have a look. So it's kind of, halfway from 1K to 100. Just so you know, it's 1K meaning 1000, and it goes up. Sorry, it goes down by 100. So 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and then 1. It gets bigger because these are kind of the more interest areas where you need to, you need to really see around this subby area is very difficult. And then 1K, obviously, it goes really, really up very quickly. But this is kind of the money area as well, where you've got your melody. So this area, the money area, where you've got your nice bass and your sub bass, they're working well. And then this area as well, where you've got your really nice melody coming out, really, really nice and bright. Now that was way too much sidechain, because you couldn't even hear any of those notes, or many of those notes. See, like these start notes. So we're just going to ease off a little bit. And it's interesting, there's this psychoacoustic effect where your brain just puts together the notes that were on the downbeat, even though they're playing at 14% of the volume of the other ones. They're so much softer, but yet your brain kind of puts them together, so you still get this pattern in your head, even though it's so softer. It's an interesting thing. So let's dial it in. I think about there is probably good. Dialing it in, very good way to figure out your settings as well. And another good thing to do, not so applicable here, is that you what's called A/B things. So that would be A, B, or like as in on off. They say A/B for some reason. Just to make sure that when you're adding something, you actually like what you've added. Because if you spend 5 minutes adjusting this, you've gotten so used to what you're hearing, you can't really tell whether it's better or worse. So definitely better with the sidechain. Definitely better. So let's hit a lot with the bass, and that's our not working currently because it doesn't have the yellow dot. Alright, let's hit a lot from the start. Push the little box to go back to the start of your song, and spacebar to start playing. Alright, is it too loud? That's pretty cool. Now we turned off the delay as well, and delay kind of gives it a larger space. So let's turn that back on. But maybe not as much. Often less is more with these kind of things, so you can just drown it with delay and it kind of loses its initial quality. So just once again dial it in, and then A/B what you've done to make sure that you like it. Sounds better than before, so let's leave it like that. So that was the lead. Next time is EQ. See you then.